Hey, this is Ralph, and in this video I want to share with you an extra credit challenge you can use for the CIS 195 class. Alright, so in this one you're going to do a basic two-column web page layout, and there's a little bit of a catch to it. So we have our sidebar off to the left in green, got a top bar across the top in red, and I got a main content text area here in blue. And you'll notice the top bar has a few buttons attached to it. I want you to focus on the one on the far left and the one on the far right. Don't worry about these three here. That is for some other idea I'm cooking up. Okay, when the user clicks the far left button on the top bar, the sidebar slides away or just disappears. That's fine too. And if they click it again, it pops back. Once again, I'm not too worried about the transitions on that. You can just do the basic. It goes away and comes back. Alright? And if they click the far right button under the top bar, they can click, goes away. Once again, you don't have to do transition, you can just have it disappear or move up, and then when they click it, it moves back. And of course they can do a combination of the two so that the only thing focused in is this blue content area. So that is the plan of action. Now, what you would end up creating for this is a single HTML file, a single CSS file, and a single JavaScript file. Now, of course, in CIS 195 you haven't done any JavaScript, so I'm going to show you what the JavaScript looks like. So here is the JavaScript used, and it's not terribly complicated stuff. I have a total of 4 functions, 2 for each of the key buttons, right? One will hide, or one will display the sidebar, one will hide the sidebar, one will display the top bar, one will hide the top bar. So you can copy this exactly. This is the JavaScript. Now, I don't want to show you too much of my HTML, but I do want to show you the specific thing that you should be able to do to test this, even if you don't do the JavaScript. Okay? So the JavaScript really is only essential to get those buttons working. Pretty slick, certainly. But here's what you can do. And by the way, this will be 15 points of extra credit. 15 points of extra credit means making this web page layout with the green, the red, and the blue, just how I have it organized here, with at least this one little button over here on the left and the little button over here on the right. And in order to test successfully for the 15 points of extra credit, I should be able to go to your page, and I'm going to jump over to my HTML. The only thing I want to show you are these 2 particular lines. The container, the div container with class equals sidebar show, and then the div container 2 with class equals top bar show. You should be able to change the class on these from sidebar show to sidebar hide, top bar show to top bar hide, or any combination of those two. Just by changing the class, you should be able to change the look of this web page, and that is the important part. That's the 15 points of extra credit right there. So 15 points of extra credit is really just the HTML and the CSS. But in order to change those layouts from showing the sidebar or hiding the sidebar, showing the top bar, or hiding the top bar, showing the top bar, it all comes down to these class attributes right here. The class attribute in the container and the class attribute in what I'm calling container 2. Not that there aren't a couple ways that you could do this. And it's important that you're able to change the layouts just by changing over these classes. One, second, the other, or both of them. Okay? Because the JavaScript is what is, the JavaScript will change these class attributes for you if you tackle that. So that's the 15-point activity. The web page layout that I can then change the class attributes from basically show to hide in order to affect the result. Okay? Now if you want to go extra credit, so the basic extra credit is 15 points, which is pretty much the equivalent of an assignment or a quiz. If you wanted to go for 25 points of extra credit, then I would ask that you apply this JavaScript. Okay, so once again, I'm showing you the JavaScript to type, and you can type it just like this, but I'm not really showing you how to put it into action. Okay, it's not that tough. Okay, and you could look it up on the web pretty easily. But I want you to put it into action, and I also want you to put in the transition effects. Okay, now we don't do transitions in the intro level class, but you can look those up also. And this should work, get it to work in Chrome and Firefox at least. And the transition effects, and you can do similar kind of timing or effects there. I'm using ease in to be, give you a little hint. But I want you to trigger those so that they work with the buttons just like mine. There you go. So that's what I'm looking for, so that we get this particular effect going. All right, so for 15 points, you need to make the HTML page and the CSS page to make the layouts. And in order to test it, I need to be able to go to the HTML file and just change the class values here on the container and the container too. Sidebar show to sidebar hide, top bar show to top bar hide. It's tough to say. Now, if you're going for the extra credit, then that means you're also doing the JavaScript, and you're also putting in the transition effects so that we can slide those sidebars and slide those top bars. All right, so that is your challenge. Not a trivial thing to do. Okay, so this is not for the faint of heart. Basically, this is extra. It's above and beyond our normal coursework. So that's why it's extra credit. If it was typical coursework, we would just call it homework, right? So try it out. I don't want you to do this as an alternative to your other work. I want you to do it in addition to your other work if you're looking for a little bit of an extra puzzle and some points to earn for that. So have fun.